World Financial Group offers entrepreneurs from all backgrounds the opportunity to start their own business on a level playing field. Dr. Jana Woodhouse, receiving the WCM Wall Street Pioneer Award by the United Black Wall Street of America, Inc., is one of those entrepreneurs.
I see WFG and TFA as a place where African Americans with an entrepreneurial mindset can flourish. And the bonus, we help families and serve the communities across the country.
To learn more about us, go to worldfinancialgroup.com.
We are the sons and daughters of the soul. We are resilient and forever forward-thinking. We ask for nothing else than the opportunity to live and to create the lives that we were meant to live. We want nothing but an equal chance at options and possibilities. The same possibilities and options to live out our potential as our fellow man. We want to be heard, understood, and expressive in our reality. We are the future. We are the creative. We are here.
She was told that she couldn't play with the boys. She was told that they were too big, too rough, too strong. She was told to give up her dreams and move on. She was told to just be pretty, be quiet, be a lady. She was told that women had to stay on their side of the court, stay in your lane. Playing and competing with men was insane. She was told that men and women would never be equal. Dreaming like that would only be linked to your mind, to your soul. She never listened. She knew that their thinking was old. She was magic. She is the definition of spirit. She is what champions are made of. She is now.
Greetings and welcome to Access Wealth Nation, broadcast on the Soul City Network. I'm Dr. Jana B. Woodhouse, and I want to welcome you. I say bonsoir, comment allez-vous? And I hope you are very well. Très bien. I'm doing this because we had the most awesome experience going to the motherland, to Senegal. Throughout Senegal. Senegal is really a very big country. Part of course, Africa, which is the largest continent in this world. But we got a chance to experience and figure out how, from my end, how we can bridge the racial wealth gap, because it's not just here in the United States. It is also across the world. And to see the initiatives that are going on, and the fact that we here in New York, in Harlem, can definitely bridge the gap by communicating. Communication is so important. And once we of people of the African American diaspora get together, and I know this is not what the world wants us to do, but it's inevitable, we will change not only our own areas, but the world. We have all the talent there is. So before I get started, of course, I want to announce that we have our How Money Works book, Stop Being a Sucker. That's one of the elements that's happening. I was so happy to be able to share this book with some of the people in Senegal. So the book officially is international. And How Money Works, Stop Being a Sucker. If you'd like to have the book, all you have to do is email me at anagenterprisesinc@gmail.com and say, I'd like the book, and we'll be able to make a difference in our thoughts. Because before you get anything, you have to have the thought of wealth. And we are a wealthy people. Why? because we spent $1.6 trillion last year. It was only 1 trillion less than we did the year before. And what did we do with that money? It went to other people. If we had that money moving within our own community, we would be making such a difference and be able to be financially free than spend money, which is leaving money out for other people to be able to make money. Doesn't sound right, does it? Also, those of you, we do a free financial analysis for anyone with no kind of necessity that you have to do anything else with us. It's totally free, 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 free. All you need to do is say that, call the office and say, I'd like to have a free financial analysis, no obligation. 646-375-2121. That is an opportunity for you to have a plan. Because if you don't have a plan, you are planning to fail. And that is something that I see all across the diaspora of the United States. Now I've seen it all across parts of Africa and Senegal. Very serious situation. We have to get our finances in our house in order. And I think Hands Across America would do that. So before I get started, I would like to bring on one of our associates who from Soul City was with us, and we'll be able to talk a little bit. Since this is International Women's Month, this is a great opportunity for some of the ladies in our Soul City family to be able to participate. And I'd like to bring on right now. Oh, good. We're going to have another person on too from the Soul City family, along with his own show he has on the Soul City Network. That's Urbanology, but also he'll be talking from the fact that he's the president of the Harlem Tourist Board. I don't know if we're going to be able to have the Mayor's Forum, which would be with the mayor of Soul City, Matt McCoy, who also was on the event and the delegate, part of the delegation. So that being said, let me bring on my guest. I'd like to bring on Jasmine Pfeiffer, who heads up our marketing. Hey there, Jasmine.
Hey, Jana. What's going on?
Welcome to Access Wealth Nation.
It is a pleasure to be here as always.
Definitely. And so I understand we also have Mr. Tony. Oh, goodness gracious. Ain't that a mess? I'm just a total mess.
Tony Rogers.
Tony Rogers. I'm tired. Look, folks, I'm just going to cop. We got in this morning. So the mere fact we're on, I have to say all praise is due to the mighty, because I know I'm about to pop, and I'm sure my dear associates here, Jasmine and Tony, are just as tired. We
very much
share the energy that we received by being in Senegal and going throughout. And first and foremost, I'd like Tony, Mr. Tony Rogers, the president of the Harlem Tourist Board, but also one of our hosts on the Soul City Network for Urbanology on Tuesdays at 4 p.m. Gotta give the plug. Okay, so Tony, can you tell us what this whole idea of the trip to Senegal was really to come about? What was supposed to come out of that?
What was supposed to come out of it is what came out of it, actually, or the beginning of what will continue. And that is to create a partnership relationship between Dakar, Senegal, and Harlem. Even though when we went to Goree Island, which is a place where every African American, Caribbean American should visit, the mayor of Goree Island made a recommendation, which I think is appropriate. He said it's fine to have a sister city relationship with Dakar, but it would probably be more effective to have a sister relationship with Goree Island, because that's where Um, most of us came from for 4 centuries. Goree Island was the major location for the slave trade, whether it's the French, the Portuguese, uh, the Spaniards, the British. They all, the Dutch. They all came to this place where you'll see the footage and the films brought to tears to many people, including my sister Jana Woodhouse. But that was what it was supposed to be, and I would like to again thank Soul City, Jasmine, who if it wasn't for Jasmine, I wouldn't be on this call now. I always give her those props because she's the one that follows up. But the ability to bring technology together, the ability to bring financial planning together, the ability to meet so many people who really are really waiting for us to come full circle. Um, if you go to Facebook, the Soul City site or the Harlem Tourism Board site, you will see how welcome we were. Don't believe any of the colonizers' misinformation, but we were treated like the brothers and sisters and cousins that are returning. So again, to have that opportunity and to go with people like Craig Harris, who met the head of the Senegalese tourism, I'm not Senegalese jazz festival, and to meet Innovate. Was it Innovation?
Innovation.
Innovation tour handles. If you go to Senegal and you want to tour Innovations, you'll check Soul City, check with us. We'll show you where they are. But again, we're all tired, you know. But
Yeah.
I just wanted to make sure that I did what I needed to do to be on my sister's show here. And
Well, that
Jasmine,
I thank you so much.
and I'm
I
happy that Jasmine was there because that's the next generation. So,
Yeah.
we're planting the seed, and Jasmine was very important to be there, so, and of all everybody. But thank you for that opportunity. Thank you for this opportunity. And thank you for the opportunities that's going to come.
Oh yeah, we've got a lot of work to do. Now, it's
Oh, yeah.
something when you get blessed by the ancestors, but being blessed by the ancestors and receiving instruction. We've
First
got
week in June.
That's it. We've got to get this thing. Starts June, and every year, some event is happening. But also, the event that comes from a cultural standpoint is every 2 years. They have their. The thing that I want to say before we bring Jasmine's remarks in is that we as a people have separated and allowed us to be separated from our family. And yeah, I had a very touching moment in Goree Island, to have the experience to be in the slave dungeons, knowing that those were part of my family that was there. And the thing that touched me more than anything, I mean, it was the energy was in the room. I know all of us felt the energy of the ancestors. They were popping us up against the head. Like, what took you so long to get here? But also, I was on the ship, the I won't call it a ship, the ferry going over, and it was just a very touching moment when Ali Soul, who I believe he heads up the tourism in.
He's the director of communication and advertisement for the Senegalese Tourism Agency.
Okay, so he, very important man, turned to me and said, "You look well off. You belong with us."
Mm-hmm.
And so I said, I've heard that before because I've had situations of where I've been at the airport with my friends who are from Senegal, and people come up to say to me, Mengadef, and all I know is Magnifique, and after that I'm out. I can't talk. So
You
I've
gotta
heard.
jump.
But what was interesting was one of the young ladies, and whether she had another reason or not, um, said to me, you've come home." And she says, "Your name now, is Fatu. You Fatu, and you Fatu Diop. And I didn't know how strong the Diop family is in Senegal, but it felt good. That felt, and then the music of the young people. You guys just got to go to Soul City's page or to the tourist board
Yes.
and watch this footage. The way they welcomed us, I can say that they treated us like kings and queens that we are. And that's touching because many a times we go places and we don't get acknowledged for the power that we are, but we were acknowledged, and family, we were brought in as family. So all of you who keep saying to me, yeah, people from Africa, like they separated from us, you know, the opposite is that they don't appreciate us. They appreciate just they're just like any family member. You go down south and you come home, you ain't been home, and you come in and they're like, well, where the hell you been? You know, why haven't you come back? And why are you talking about sitting there like you some kind of guest? Go up there and start cleaning up stuff. And, you know, that's our family. I believe we have the mayor of Soul City, Matt McCoy. You're there.
I'm here. Can you guys hear me?
Oh,
Yeah.
that's a nice
Finally.
shot.
Got me?
Yes,
I'm
we
sorry,
can.
guys. Forgive me. I'm actually having all kinds of technical difficulties here on my end. So if my eyes look crazy, if I'm looking all around because I got three screens up, and I'm trying to do all the technical stuff behind the scenes as well as be on the show.
Well, what
So,
we're going to do is let our sister, Queen Jasmine Pfeiffer, to give her.
Princess, you're the queen.
That's true. She got to
She's the
get to me.
queen in training.
I'll
She
take it.
queen in training. Don't start it, Jasmine.
I'll take it. Don't worry about it. I'll take it.
But just being really the youngest member on the tour, and you know, to let the young people know really what you felt and what they need to go, why they need to go back home, and especially to the to Senegal, Dakar, Goree Island. What was that all about for you?
Um, well, one, it's an honor to be with the group of people that we were with, all of you and the others that we were with, because it's a once in a lifetime experience, doing what we're doing and being part of the type of project that we're a part of. Um, so and it was my first time in Africa. It's not my first time out the country, but it was my first time and on the motherland. And I'll say it didn't hit me until we left Goree Island. Weirdly enough, like I felt the energy was different. The beautiful seeing the faces, seeing the people. But once at the end of the night, it kind of sunk in that, yeah, you're here, right? Like this is the place that people talk good about, they talk bad about. This is the place where your ancestors were. They were chained up in these concrete rooms, separated, bunched up, treated poorly, and that was a place where, um, if you were a couple of hundred of years born prior, you could have been that could have been me a
Hmm.
couple of hundred years ago, 400, 500, 600 years ago. So, it took a little bit, but it hit later on in the evening, and it's an experience, and I think it's an experience many people within my generation and many before after me. I'm sorry, should go and experience. You need to go out there. You need to go to the motherland. You need to have that experience, feel the walls, feel the energy, talk to the people, right? See your twin. Like I was talking with Matt while we were down there, and I was like, Matt, this lady and Yana, they look alike. And he was like, yeah, they kind of do.
yeah.
And I saw so many familiar faces there. Not to say that I've seen these people here in New York or in other states, but I felt like I know them already. And it's a weird feeling that you have to get used to, but it's very comforting to know, to go somewhere where you see everyone that looks like you, right? You don't see these artificial faces. You see people who look like you in their natural form with beautiful skin, okay, beautiful
Oh
teeth.
Lord, these people
I
so
mean,
pretty.
It's crazy. And once you, I say it's an experience because like here in America, we have a lot of luxuries that we don't we aren't thankful for, right? So it's places out there. There's a lot of dirt. Yeah, your shoes get dirty. So what? You get over it, right? Turkish toilets. I tell you, those Turkish toilets. I mean, they're good for you, but like I said, it took some adjusting. It took some adjusting. Um, Different situations. I would say they're different than what we're used to. We're used to a lot of luxury and convenience here, um, and there things are done more naturally. Things are more in more of their natural form. So the adjustment is real. It's it's a real adjustment, but there's an appreciation there. Once you've gone through the experience, there's an appreciation for the um the love amongst everyone that they have for you, not because you're an American, but because you look like them. You're happy to see them, they're happy to see you. I mean, Senegal, and I only say Senegal because that's the only place I've been in the motherland, but they embraced us. It wasn't, oh, you poo poo Americans, you know. It was an experience. It was almost like I knew them. I knew all these people in the country for years. It was like they were my neighbors I grew up with when I was a kid, you know. And it was an amazing, I tell you, an amazing experience. And I think everyone should have that experience at least once in your life. Go visit, check it out, eat the fruit. Oh my gosh, the limes, the watermelon. It's just so
Tangerines.
much. And the
What
who?
was that, Tony?
Tangerines.
Them
Jasmine
tangerines
Oh,
gave me
are so sweet,
a
you know.
tangerine that
oh
tastes like
man.
And
candy.
and the thing is
Oh
that one
man.
thing I'll say to everyone when you go, because you are going to go,
Mm,
you know, it's
yes.
almost to the extent that we're doing a reverse situation. We were forced to come over here. Now we got to force you to get out of here and go across because there are a lot of business opportunities there.
Mm.
And just as much as I said, there was financial illiteracy in America, which USA ranks number 14 in the world.
Wow.
Our most resourceful place is Africa, and everybody's going there, and we're not going there and working and building an economic base there where there is so much. You know, you can get a 4 bedroom home fully put together for about $90,000. Can't get that here.
Yep.
And on top of it, one thing I gotta say is you own the land.
Yep.
You know,
Yeah.
it's something to own a house, and that's what we've been bamboozled on. That's why, you know, stop being a sucker. We've been bamboozled thinking that, you know, oh, I got a house. Do you realize that here in the United States there's a thing called eminent domain, and you can have all the house you want and they can tell you how much it's worth and move you. You know, talk to the people, our ancestors and our seniors who before the here in New York, the Grand Central Highway and even Yankee Stadium, those places, when they were being built, houses were on those in that area. And what did they do? They gave them some money and told them get going. Same thing happened recently with the Barclays Center. You know, people, we need it. Eminent domain means the for the greater good of the area. You got to move, and
12th Avenue in Harlem.
there we go
Yeah.
again. Another
Yeah.
one. You know, so in the sense I asked, and our tour guides were, oh my goodness, we will
It was
have
great.
them forever. They are our new brothers.
They were the best.
Accepted they're part of the family. So Matt, I know you bitten at the chain, biting at the chain. Let's go ahead and tell us what you experienced.
No, no, no. I'm sorry. And again, guys, forgive me. My eyes are darting all over the place. I'm looking at three screens and I'm trying to produce the show at the same time. Um, but my experience in Senegal was life changing. I think. Um, Unfortunately, it was my first time there, and I told people that it was only my first time going to Africa, only because I don't like long flights. I don't like flying, period. I'm used to it now, but I don't like flying. And they put me in the plane for 12 or 16 hours to get to, to get to Africa or changing from one plane to another to get there. I just never could do it. But thanks to Senegal Air, who now flies nonstop from New York to Senegal, it made it easy. It was a nice, easy flight. The pilots were the best. They landed very smoothly, and everything was great. So I was happy now that I could get a chance to finally go home. And being home still is kind of an emotional experience for me and a spiritual one for me. Um, Getting there, feeling the sunshine, seeing the sun, seeing the people, and I felt like I was on 125th Street. Like, I didn't feel like I left, New York City. I literally felt like I was at home. I
Wow.
was saying, the only difference was the language because I don't speak French. So, the language is really the only difference, but everything else was pretty much the same. I didn't feel any different. I felt, the spiritual bond with the people. As you said, our tour guides, uh, Hamid,
Ka.
Hamid,
and what do you say?
Hamid,
Baba Ka.
Yeah,
Abaka.
Hamid and Babacar. They were the best. They were great. And meeting all the people, we got to Goree Island, got to meet with the mayor of Goree Island. We'll talk about that, I guess, later. Um, Meeting with all the dignitaries and all the people there, and just seeing the the experience of going to Goree Island was interesting for me. I wasn't sure how I was going to feel. Um, when I got there, I kind of I felt a sense of sadness. But then for some reason, as everybody was doing the tours, I just kept walking around and going from one room to one room by myself in the slave dungeons. And something told me, it was like a spirit in me said, don't be sad, be great,
Hmm.
make a difference. And that's what I was feeling as I was walking around. I was like, wow, okay, this happened. Now make it better. You know what I'm saying? And, just to go back to how we were treated real quickly and after, not just by tour guides, but everybody. I mean, the Senegalese tourism board and the government there rolled out. They rolled out the red carpet for us. We
Yes.
had people like royalty from the moment we got there. They had a band playing, and people, singing. They had a drummer, and when we got to Goree Island, and I posted that up on Facebook. The women and men who were singing for us,
Mm-hmm.
and that at Goree Island they were lined up on the steps. If you watch that, guys, it's on my page on the Facebook page. Um, that was so. I think that was so much. I felt so much joy. They were welcoming us, like we were family. About time we got here. Welcome, stay a while, and come back and keep coming. Bring more people with you. So I could talk for days, but I'll leave it there. But that experience was really, it was emotional, but it was more spiritual for me because I felt a sense of, all right, now it's my turn to make a difference. My turn to be better. My turn to bring more people. My turn to go forward and to do something great that would benefit not just the people on the continent, but the people here. Because when you go to Africa, it benefits you. It benefits you just seeing the sun. So I'll stop there.
Well, that's appreciative, truly. And yes, the fact that we got the spiritual side, and I think we're spiritual beings again, having a human experience here. And someone says, greetings, okay, an entire community of folks that look like us forced out. Yeah, it's interesting
Well,
though. Benita, Central Park is another example. Oh
That's
yes, a
true.
permanent domain, very much so.
Definitely.
The thing that's really sincere is that we do have a mission. I had one of the sisters that is phenomenal, Sunny Moore, am I right?
More.
More. I'm getting there good.
we met so many people. It's like, wow, okay.
So many people helped us, but Sunny was born here in America in California, but she married a Senegalese, her husband. And one thing she said that I thought was that we need to share and maybe even put a sign up in front of us is that if we don't get this right this year, we will be extinct. Now, that's a powerful statement, but it's the truth. When it comes down to economics, we're not even in the running. When it comes down to Congress and the Senate, we're not counted. We're not even asked to be coming to the table. And the thing is that we have to realize that we have a power, an economic power, but we don't even use it. We let them, all sorts of people, like I'm going to name it because I don't care whether they never sponsor me at all, is H&M. H&M created ads that made us, our babies, look like monkeys. And what did we do? We got upset for a quick moment and we were right back in there giving them our money. We've got to make a change mentally and first recognize that we are the kings and the queens, and we should greet each other that way. You know, I was so honored every time our tour guides or people worked and said, you know, Dr. Jana, my queen. You know, I was like, oh, yes. You know, but it's the reason why we need to, because we have a world of where we're the only culture that I can say that constantly calls our wonderful queens and princesses the B word, the H. Well, the W is really a W, but people use the H word, they say, but it's the word is spelled. Y'all know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
And so we're the only ones that do that with the mother of this world. You know, we went into almost every museum featured the African woman and the fact that she has birthed this entire world, but yet be disrespected so heavily. And we've got to be protected. Our kings have to protect us. We have to recognize, you know, when I see my sisters, do not go out there, sisters going out there talking to each other, calling them all sorts of, calling you out your name. You're a queen. Recognize it and take that power. So also, as you all are making comments, thank you so much. This is the beginning of why, yes. And so the thing is, let's do a little bit talk of the why. What we're started, the door is opened. There is not enough discussion among Blacks in America on why we should keep in touch with the motherland. Well, now we're there, and we can't be frightened to go. And I tell you, I had my little concerns because of this COVID. What they were going to do, you know, what did I need to prove that I'm okay? You know, because if someone can take the time, especially many of the powers that be, and keep you away from the homeland, then therefore, you know, you do the best to make sure you fulfill requirements. And we did. We still had a couple of snafus, but we were able to overcome it because we're in power. We're in power in places like Senegal, you know. And that's one thing that I'd like to add is that every place here in America, when we see advertisements, we don't see us. You know, there, I felt so proud. The most simplest ads, the ads on the television, you know, and I know very uh, French, but every little bit that I saw was they were people that looked like me. You know, the people when we went to the mayor's office, everybody sitting at table looked like us.
Yeah.
You know, and
I
we
mean,
were talking.
the mayor himself looked like somebody I played ball with back in the day. You know? I mean, you know, they really, you know, family, like people that, you know, that we grew up with, that we knew, just to show you how close the relationship is, how we aren't any different. You know, we just speak a different language because, you know, they speak French and Wolof, but we were the same people.
But we can learn to speak just as much. And I know that was another thing Sonny said. We really, French is good. The Wolof is better, you know. And I done pulled out my French books from high school and college because I'm not going to let this happen where I can't talk to my folks. So, you know.
Well, one of the things, and this is where Jasmine is going to come in, and because in the future, there won't be a language barrier. I mean, we did that. There's some funny stories that I have about how you can use a phone and communicate. You can speak what you want to speak, and they will listen to it and they will give you feedback. So language is no longer a barrier, even with, and that type of technology can be on the computer, on your phone. So,
True. That's true.
and
That's true.
the other thing though is that when you go for the first time, it's wise to go with someone like Innovate to have a hookup, which is why we were there. We wanted to make sure that we knew who to talk to, who to find things about, because they will then provide you with the information. Sometimes the tour guides, I know, cannot necessarily be as helpful. They will tell you certain things, quote unquote, the Europeans may be interested in, but
Mm-hmm.
not always the dialogue that will allow for us to understand where we fit. Talking about Egypt and how things all came out of Egypt and all of those types of things. So it's a wonderful way to understand that there are things that we can do. And I was so glad that Queen Woodhouse was with us, because when we started talking about things like the ability to build a well for $1,000, the ability to
Mm-hmm.
create, we can invest. And as Matt has said, matter of fact, Matt, there may be a statue one day in Senegal. Matt said, I can get all this property for this. Oh, I'll build a statue out there. You know how Matt is. He said, I'll get all of this stuff. But
You're really truthful, Tony, about the water. Water is a necessity, and a lot of errors have been made in Africa, made by Europeans to take the water away from the different townships. And so there was a brother, Usman. I don't know his last
Prime,
name. Yes, he came to.
Dr. Usman Prime. Mhm.
I'm sorry.
Dr. Usman Prime,
Yes.
the ecologist.
Yes, and phenomenal. But the thing is, he told us about the wells that could be built and make changes within the communities. And there's multiple communities. The wonderment is that you can have a chief pour libation and you can own the land. You just have to make sure it gets registered within the county by the mayor and that office. But it's that simple as much as what you can do. But what Usman, I must say, is that he touched me because he said that I think he said it was his grandfather. It must have been his great grandfather for time's sake. But he said that his grandfather went hunting because his family's the hunters. That's one of the interesting things. Everybody's name has a correlation to what they do in business, which was originally here also, because you had people who were the coopers, who were copper makers, stuff like that. And blacksmiths, but he said his grandfather went out to hunt and never came home. Now we're looking at someone, not a story, not a story about, roots. Here's the person whose grandfather went out and did not come back. And it brought back the fact that, in my mind, that these people were not just folks in Senegal, not just the Ivory Coast and Ghana, all across Africa. And how I know it personally, my gotta count them, great grandfather came from Madagascar. And the question came, how did he get caught? How did that happen? He's all the way on the east coast of Africa. So all across, our people were taken. Some, I really believe, when I got to Goree Island, I looked and I saw, the thing that hit me was the children's quarters. The cruelty of these people. Yes, and I'm calling them out, the Portuguese. I know y'all out there who are from Portugal and say, well, it wasn't me. Your ancestors, just as my ancestors. I'm not in chains, but my ancestors were. And just like your folks, which were the worst slave masters in this entire, I'll say, universe, what they did to take people who were kind and had purpose in their family, and bring them to a country and not allow them to live with
Mhm.
peace in mind. No, you put them in places, took away their religion, their spirituality, took away their clothing, took away everything, stripped them naked, and then put them down on Wall Street. Because I got the issue with Wall Street for this. Wall Street, put them down there at Wall Street and auction them off. And it's still, the energy is still down there. How do I know? I worked at Wall Street for 15 years, no doubt. Walked by the Federal Reserve and could feel the energy just as I did in Goree Island. Now, some of you say, well, I don't want to go somewhere that makes me feel bad. It's not to make you feel bad. It's to connect to your family. And once you've done that, make a change. They say knowledge is power. I'll tell y'all, action is queen. That's where the power comes from. That energy of birth and change comes from that. So that being said, my princess, Jasmine, with her wonderful insight. Jasmine, what can you say to some of the young people about what you felt spiritually, by being there, but also being able to connect to some more young people? Did you get a chance to meet some other young people?
Why you say it like that? You made me
Because
sound
you
like a
keep talking
kindergarten
about you
school
were with a
teacher.
bunch of old folks.
Oh, so you know what? It's really interesting. A lot of the young people that I did meet were like me for the most part. Right, like they were in business, they were doing their thing, they were there with purpose. It's not in what we're fed here in America that Africa is this third world country. There's nothing going on over there. These people are this and that, and no, it's really not. Like it's really a place where people are doing business. They're thriving in business, right? They're looking to make a change. A lot of the young people there they see the opportunities that are available, and they see the niches, and they understand what needs to be done, and they're doing it. They're educating themselves. They're funding their businesses. They're putting themselves in positions of government. They're creating these not-for-profit organizations. They're creating for-profit organizations. They're doing the same thing that we're doing here. So I think that it's a movement of betterment amongst the entire diaspora. I think right now is a time, there's a shift in the mindset amongst young people, and I would say at least my generation. And we're like, we're tired of this. We're done. We want to make a change. We want to create resources. We want to create opportunities. We want to open doors for our people. We want to create paths for our nieces, nephews, little brothers, and little sisters. So, for the most part, that it felt like I said, it felt like I was home. I didn't feel like I was away. The energy is different. The sun was beautiful. I came back just kissed by the sun. It felt great. But for the most part, the young people there are looking to make a change. They're looking to change the circumstances, and change the environment and what's going on, and all of these negative opinions on Africa. So that was my experience with the young people, and spiritually, man, yeah, I gotta go. Like I said before, every person of color needs to experience what it is to go back to the motherland. What any part you go to. But Senegal itself was different. And like I said, I haven't been to other parts of Africa, and I plan on exploring other parts of Africa as well. Other cities, and experiencing the culture, the different cultures, the different practices, right? The different ways of living. All of those things are important, because the way we live here in America, it's it's nothing compared to what the world has to offer. There's so much more. So open your eyes, open your minds, open your hearts, and take a trip. Forget Mexico, forget Jamaica. For a little while, go to Africa. Go
Well, did
somewhere
you
you
get to
haven't
see
been.
any beaches?
No, say
Girl, And that, you know
You,
what? That's the
Tony.
other thing.
Yeah.
Because it's like a lot of people don't know there's beaches in Africa. I guess people just think Africa is full of cliffs that just lead to water. And they just walk off the cliff and fall into the ocean. The beaches are gorgeous. You know what? And it's funny. I actually think the beach there in Senegal was nicer than the beach that we went to in Mexico.
Oh,
Honestly,
definitely.
it was so much nicer. The sand is different. The sand is finer and it's not as hot on your skin. It's gorgeous. Oh, Tony, you muted.
You're muted, Tony. You can't back me.
You hear him
There
say
you
it.
are.
A lot of people wish they could do that without having. But anyway, it's the beaches are beautiful, and we didn't really see as many as
Right.
There are so
Mhm.
many more. But it's to see the black people walking up the beach, and you walk up the beach,
Yeah.
you don't feel that you have to be something other than you are. The ownership was there.
It was, and that's the other thing.
Correct.
People don't realize. We want to have the mansions here in America. You can have a little condo or something here in America, but you can honestly have a real home. And I will add the tax element to it. They pay taxes on income, flat tax. That's it. It's
Right.
not all of this. I gotta pay extra and more quarterlies and stuff. You pay
State
on the
City.
income. That's a
Oh,
powerful position. I mean, I was digging because that's my forte. Is I was digging into the money. I wanted to know, how do we get this money and into our hands, and that we can have prosperity. You can own land abroad. You can rent land. You can buy it and rent it out. You may live in it maybe 2 months out of the year, but the other 10 you can have an Airbnb. Yes, you can do that. And it's not going to be an arm, a leg, a thigh, to get it done. But
Jana.
also, since we were there, and I'll say something, Matt, then is that we also were there because of the jazz festival that's coming, and it comes every
Correct.
year, I'm understanding.
Mhm.
And there are going to be some packages for you, not as many as will be the following year, but we do have the opportunity for in June. And Tony, the dates on that?
About the first week in June,
The ninth, I
June
believe.
2nd,
Second to the ninth.
9th, I believe. But we'll
Mhm.
we'll we'll have that. Matter of fact, we still have people still there making some arrangements. But we know that the jazz festival is from the 2nd to the 9th, so we're going to be around the first week in June. And one of the things I just wanted to share before I forget about it, a lot of people have this issue about Africa because of the people who are African that they run into. What is important to understand is that the people who are able to make it over to the United States from Africa have really been educated by the colonizer, and to the point where their understanding about things has been quote unquote whitewashed. When you go to see the people yourself, you get to see the warmth and you see the relationship and you get to see the understanding that you don't always see. Um, I mean, you do see it, but not always by those who have been educated in Oxford or Harvard or
Mm-hmm.
Columbia that are here because they have a different perspective, just as some of our people who've been educated at Harvard, have. And
Yeah,
it's
you
not,
lose your identity
yeah,
and you become dark-skinned white people.
right.
That's what happens.
And that's why a lot of people have this false understanding about Africa because the people they run into act as if they don't want to be with them. They rather be with somebody white. And I'm not saying that, I'm just saying that is more common than not.
Yes, and we need
Any,
to get.
even if you travel to China, if you travel to any of the countries, the people are different from the people that you run into in the U.S. Because in order to get here,
Hmm.
your mindset has to be put into a certain way, and that way has been, in many cases, programmed, and you become more related to the colonizer than you do to the people.
Yeah, and that's so important that, and I'll add to that is when you go, because you are going to go, I'm going to tell you all that. You know, the little
They
spirit
do it
going
every
in
year,
your head.
someplace, Africa,
You know, you're
someplace.
going to go.
Ghana.
But when you
Matt is
go,
already working on Ghana, you know, so.
that's it. Oh, that's another thing. Definitely, Ghana's beautiful. But when you go, do not go as a tourist. Go as you returning home.
Homecoming.
If
Right.
you come as a tourist, they will treat you as a tourist.
Hmm.
I had a
That's the
few folks, I
mindset.
had to put them in check. And I will make sure I hold that again when, because some of it I got lost in the feeling. But you have to let them know, don't mess with my spirit, don't mess up with my visit. I'm coming home. You don't treat me like you do the tourist. Let the tourists, you take from them, do what you have to, but for me, I want you to treat just like you would your sister, your brother, whoever would come home, and put them in check. They get in check when you tell them that. I know during the times I've spent going to Ghana, Egypt, Nigeria, I had to put them in check, So just know that as a lesson. But it is a reforming, like Tony said, is that we got to get our heads together. I'm still looking for that scientist that will give us that pill that we can get lobotomies done so that we can remember how great we are. I
Yeah,
saw something come up regarding
Definitely.
someone wanted to
I,
share.
yeah, I did. I wanted to say something. I think that one of the things that our people, and we talking, this is Access Wealth Nation. One of the ways you can access wealth is by going to Africa and by investing in Africa.
Correct.
Mentioned that earlier, and Benita said that how impactful financially can our trip to Senegal be? Very, very beneficial. As was said earlier, you can go there, you can invest $100,000 or less and build a fabulous home. That home, which is one of the things I wanted to do, because I was doing the math, I was there in my head quickly when I was there, and you can spend $100,000, build a fabulous 4 bedroom home.
On the water.
Yeah, on the water,
Beach.
beach, and you can stay there for a month yourself. Stay there for a month. For the other 11 months, you can rent it out, turn it to the Airbnb or whatever. You can make over $100,000 a year or more, depending on the type of house it is and how did something that was my head, how I am figuring out how to make money for something. I figured out you can make really close to $300,000 a year if it's done in a certain way. You know,
And actually, I met some Americans, two sisters,
uh-huh.
who were doing it.
Right.
They went down, and they started bringing people
Right.
down, and they expanded, and they live free because people are coming and going, and it's not that
Make
difficult.
real money. People here are looking at quick schemes and how to get rich and how to flip this. Go to Africa and build something, and you can make up to damn near $500,000 a year, depending on
Exactly.
the hotel down there. Cheaper.
And that's the thing is that we have to think about this. We spend a lot of money trying to get a home or get a home in Harlem, which is just a floor, one floor level, maybe 1, 2 bedrooms, and we spend millions of dollars to get that, and you don't own nothing. I'm telling you now. If you listen to me, this is Access Wealth Nation. You don't really own it. You are getting shares or you have a piece of the action, but someone else is mandating it. Think about it another way. Where can I go to own and build? And yeah, I can go across the water, but the tickets to Senegal are not as expensive as I was heading towards California and going to the islands. The greatest benefit is connecting with our brethren and investing in them. Correct. Thank you, Brenda.
Mhm.
Investing in us.
That's it. That's
Right.
it. We've got to stop the disconnect. We to invest
Right.
in us. How
That's the
powerful
point.
it is that you want to walk on the beach, which our sister Sunny does. She during COVID, she walked across the beach. She and she said hello to people. That's the other thing. People speak to folks there. You know, I have to force folks in my building to say good morning.
It's
You
like
know,
the South. That's what we got it from when we were down
that's
south.
it.
Yes, ma'am. No, ma'am.
We've got to connect again. And once we do, we've got the power. Think about it, owning the land and knowing the neighbor next to you looks like you. You want to do that before everybody else comes and gets, because they're coming,
Oh yeah.
they're buying, you know.
Development all over the place. Every place you go, something is being built. Now
That's it.
we need to be, because Sonny was saying, in 5 years, you won't be able to have anything because everything is being built now. You got to, get there. And one of the other things is, and this is an interesting comment there, but you don't always have to invest in what you think investors invest in. There's so much art, there's so much other
Mhm.
work, and based on the internet and the websites, you can find a designer in Africa and create a line. That's what Sonny did. Created a line, put it online. There's artwork. One of the interesting things, some of the artwork that you can get for $20, $100, which is really good, $100, you come back up here and sell it for 1,000.
That's right.
So and that's why that art festival, the Vietnam, is so popular, because artists and companies go down there and buy up all of the stuff and come back and charge 3, 4, 5 times more.
Mhm.
And that's the other thing. There are things that we don't know how to guide our children in professions that are not the quote unquote known. We went to a tapestry
Oh yes,
factory. I blew my mind
Yeah.
of these people to you spend 4 years. Now we tell our children go to college and they get a liberal arts education, of which you can't do anything with other than go to the next level. And don't think I down education. I didn't get all the way to a doctorate by downing education, but the real deal is that it's not the education, it's the experience and the networking that you get to do and being an apprentice to someone. But 4 years, you learn how to weave and create carpets and create tapestry. And there's rare people who do it. But you got to go to France now to go get this certification. You know, we need to be able to send our folks to get the certification and then open up our own school.
Yep.
Mhm.
Those are
Nope.
the things that
We
we
can
can
so
do.
many things in Africa. We can open
And
up.
the thing is, it's not that far away. Look, if our ancestors could stay on a boat for 3 months, riding very bad situation, we
Right.
can take 8 hours and get
It's
there.
like, and it's real easy. If you eat 2 or 3 times, then
Get
so
food on the flight.
And the thing is that a lot of our actors, famous, celebrities, have gone and bought homes in Ghana, in Senegal. What's his name? Akon is
Okay.
opening up an entire village.
those
Coffee.
yeah.
Huh?
Next time we go, we should be looking with Akon. I talked to Hamid about it, and he said that he'll link us with Akon, make sure that that's part of our experience.
Mhm.
So
Right. And we really didn't see Dakar because they had 15,000 people in a water conference. So we were kind of outside of Dakar. We weren't in it completely because they had so many people, because water is such an important thing. But when we go to Dakar, I mean, you talk about 125th Street. I mean, it's a whole different story. We got a sample of it when we went to uh, Salah. Who was the last?
Sally.
Sally,
Sally.
Sally.
Sally. So if you're a high roller, they got something for you there too.
Oh
They
yeah,
even got a casino.
no,
definitely.
it reminded me being there of like what we were seeing. We didn't see much of anything really. But we did see a lot. But what we saw there reminded me of kind of Harlem 1990, 1995, of it being rebuilt in a lot of areas. So you'll see an area where there's land or there's some old houses, whatever, and right next door to this beautiful big ass house. You know what I'm saying? And you see that a lot, and it's like they're rebuilding in a lot of areas. And so I thought that was interesting. Wow, this is like a what's the term? Renaissance, kind of like a Senegal Renaissance taking place.
Mhm.
And now is the time on all levels of business that you can go there with a little bit of money, pool your money together, and go there, and you can start to build generational wealth right there.
Just like we were talking about those wells. I
Mhm.
mean, if you pool together and you do 10,000, wells, you've changed the community, and they can repurpose, do more things, and you can get a percentage of it. That's my
Mhm.
mindset that I want to go with, is that not just giving, but investing, and therefore have a return. Y'all going on Bitcoin and Robin Hood and all those things that's fueling someone else's pocket. How about doing something that's going to help your people that look like you, but also where you can make some money off of it, and not pennies, like while we talk about the how money works, stop being a sucker. Instead of getting a measly 0.5%, a 0.05 on your money, you get 10, 15%, you
Mhm.
know, and entrusting. So we can make a
Mhm.
difference, and in this world, we can talk about all of the negative things, but we accept here in the United States all of the negativity. We bypass it. If they mistreat you and your food is bad, we know that we go to our market and our food is not the same as upstate New York. We know that the jobs that we get paid less than others, and especially as women, we get paid, for every dollar a man gets, we get 86 cents to it,
Mhm.
but we accept it. We accept it. We don't complain. A few of us will go out and march, but marching, I'm tired of marching. I want to do. And so to do that, you've got to stand up. If you don't like something that's happening, go somewhere where you can make a mark and make a difference. Go to some place that's a new frontier. We drove all over the area of Senegal, and how much did we get to see? So much vast land. I got
Ah,
this, so much land. You don't like something? Go someplace where you can control it. You can create and be the mayor of your own township.
mhm.
And in reality, the way the government works there, yes, they still have some European concepts, but the thing is that if you go far enough, they still deal with the chiefs of the township. Hey, you don't like it, make something new. It's a place to go. Here in America, most of the land is taken, and again, I'll say it, you don't own crap. They will move. Go somewhere where you can, and that they're not even looking at. They're not even looking. You could go to Benin, you go to Chad,
Mhm.
go to countries that have some old attitudes. But if you own the land in your area, shoot, do it your way. You bad. You got a problem. You got a situation you want to change, and you don't want to live a certain way. Well, okay, your complaints are heard. Go change it.
But
Go.
one of the things, and I'm glad this is appropriate for your show, the Italians, they would go to Italy and bring the oil, the olive oil and stuff like that. And different different groups would go to their country and get and bring it here, pizza, even though they don't really eat pizza like we do it here. But the whole idea is that we can go to Africa, and there's so many resources that if we began to say, okay, I'm going to put my money in an African bank and invest in that area. And just like you said, $1 trillion, if we could get a quarter of that money into, then we have connected with,
Mhm.
and that will allow for us to be empowered here.
That's right.
That would allow for us, if
Because
we
money walks,
start
talks,
building the
and has a
base,
life.
if we start building, and then Jana, that's why it was, you were there because of 501c3, all of those types of things that we focus on, we can invest at home and create a situation. When we talk about generational wealth, you know, we can do that without creating a situation that will take somebody else other than us. If we wanted to go into their store, or we wanted to go into their house, or, you know, that's the important thing, and
That's
that's
so
why
important.
your being there
I
was
was so glad to
so
be there.
powerful.
I was so glad to be there and saw the opportunity because, yes, I do look at things a little differently than others. You know, we have artsy people and then you have some finance folks. And I'm one of those finance folks. Okay, so how are we going to make this work for everybody? Where's the win win?
Right,
You know,
right.
I looked at that baobab tree,
Wow.
the medicinal purposes. I'm telling you, between the hibiscus and the baobab, I was feeling number one, my pressure was definitely, I didn't have my normal herbs. I drank that juice every day with the ginger and I felt fine. Uh, I walked up those stairs of that monument. I didn't. Anybody would have told me I was going to walk those. What is it? 124 stairs, and I was going to do it in not the whole week. I was going to do it in a day. You know, I felt better. I felt empowered, and that's the thing is that we let everybody else tell us what to do, how to do it. You know, I know eventually my doctor's going to find out I don't take pills anymore. You know, and I'm very healthy. Uh, and that was the other thing is to make sure, you know, if you felt congested, there were oils we could take and we took them to make sure that we were okay. There were oils that we put on our bodies that, you know, everybody else was concerned about malaria. The flies and the mosquitoes,
Yeah.
you put
Mhm.
the oil on and they stay away from you.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, we got some powerful stuff. We need to just use it.
We
I
went
see
to a
my time
wellness
is going.
we went to a wellness place, so there's so many herbs and things. As they were saying, some of the people are poor, but they don't mind because they can, just like we did in the South, they can go out into the bush and put together everything that is necessary to deal with all of these things. So
Yeah, we got chew sticks. I know I shouldn't say it online, but we got chew
yeah,
sticks.
yeah, I got to get a couple of those too. I forgot.
Oh, you let us walk out with, yeah, you get them, you get them definitely. That's
Save me at least two. You know?
oh no, we get them to you. The gums to take care of the gums, the teeth, to massage the gums. We don't massage our gums, you know. And a plug for our dentist Donna Williams, who's a female dentist in Harlem, and she said we got that's what's causing the diabetes, the hypertension is the disease in our gums. And so
Wow.
we chew on that stick and start to cleanse our gum system. Hey, I just say, get ready. We're on the move. You know, I know my time is up. Producer, are you going?
No, I'm letting it go. We go as long as we need to go. But we're talking about home. We're talking about the experience. We can come back and do another show. Do it again
Well,
on.
we're going to come
Mhm.
back because we got Urbanology on Tuesday
Right,
at
which is
4.
going to be a
We'll come back
continuation of this,
with
and we might even be able
crossover.
to get some people from Africa. It's a little late
I was
to
gonna say,
now, but we might be able to do it. But the most important thing that for me was I was guided to reach out to certain people, which had started some time ago. But the people who came there were the people who were supposed to be there. You
Mhm.
know, the people who came there were the people, the relationship, the synergy. You know, we always, you know, everybody's going to have some ins and outs, but they were the people who were supposed to be
Yeah.
there. And things just happened. So thank you, Matt, Jazz, Jana, for being part of something that it took 5 years in the making, 405 years, you know, to make that circle. But now we have to do the work. We have to figure out a
Well,
way.
you know,
We have to
Tony,
figure out a way to get about 20 people there in June. So
yes.
if you're interested, you need to know because we're only taking 20 people because we haven't really put all of the pieces together. We know what we can do. We know what's there, but we haven't even seen the car and they have a plane now going from the car to St. Louis, so you have to make a 3-hour drive so we can shoot there and come back. So this is just the beginning, but you got to go. If you're African American, if you're Caribbean American, I love to go different places in the world, but before you go to the Caribbean, before you go, well, I can't say Caribbean Americans go home, but go home.
Yep,
Go home. Go home where remember, the boat left the shores of Africa, and then they came and they stopped in the Caribbean. It stopped in the islands, and then it came here. And so realistically, we know different. We just, your great grandparents might have been my great grandparents also. How do we know? We just know we look at each other. And if we understand the Pan African concept, we have to learn to love and appreciate each and every one of them. I even saw there where they got into car wrecks. That would have caused somebody to die because they arguing, over. They just looked at each other, wrote down stuff, and kept going. Respect, the respect. Even when they argue in respect. And one thing that I'll close on here is that it takes a bamboo tree to show 5 years before we get to even see the sprout, but it's growing. So that's what we're doing now is we're the bamboo tree. And under there, for those 5 years, Tony, you and Jackie, y'all went through this. And now we're here to join to help push the sprout out and therefore to grow into one of the largest trees out here with the most medicinal purposes. So that's where I see us today.
Yeah, I'm going to before you close, I want to just mention this. We went to see the great monument in the car, the statue.
Yes.
That is, I think it's one of the largest monuments in the world. And man and a woman who came to Africa and their feet are now planted in the soil, and there's a child on the man's shoulder, and they're all pointing towards America. Pointing towards New York.
Pointing at the Statue of Liberty.
Yeah. Ocean.
Pointing. Come home.
Pointing to America. So I'm going to go at the first chance I get to the Statue of Liberty and point back.
We should all do that. Point back, because Jasmine and I pointed with the statues.
We sure did.
We gotta go and point back to saying that's where we're going.
Yeah. So we got to point back, direct our people to go back now. Our resources.
But you're not going to get nothing here. Let me tell you. I know folks say, "Well, I'm African American," right? And how far have you gotten? How much land did you purchase? Is it just one or two of you, or maybe 20 of you? But how about being able to have all of us and be able to knock on each other's door and say, "Hey, I need a cup of agave." I ain't going to say sugar. So, just see and come with the mindset. Go and look. If you see and you don't want to do that, it's okay. It's all right. But at least you've gotten the information.
Y'all have fun. We went to some of the most beautiful restaurants I've ever seen in my life.
Yes.
And, like I said, the food, the people, the fresh fruit. Again, we can't stop mentioning the fresh fruit. The fresh fruit was outstanding. So,
yeah, that's the thing is that your body heals through what you put in it. And if you're putting bad, contaminated fruits and vegetables, you're going to be sickly. But that was one of the things. Everything tasted different. And I know it wasn't the fact that I just was, saying, well, it just tastes good because I'm in Africa. No, it really did. I have never had tangerines to taste like that. I have never had peanuts. I don't like to eat raw peanuts, but I ate raw peanuts. I didn't get sick. There's medicinal things you can do. That's why we are so hung up going to the doctor and paying the doctor to fulfill his practice. No, practice. He's practicing or she's practicing on you. Stop the practice. and
Mhm.
healing your body. They have areas that are there, just like we have here, healing centers. But I've been
Mhm.
to their healing centers, and it looks like my mentor's place. That all the healing oils and things. Appreciate the fact that we are not going to go extinct.
All right.
That
Yep.
we are going to live.
And I like and on my urbanology show, we're going to continue because there's so much that I want to share, but I know we don't have enough time about this trip. So for those who are listening, we're going to have part 2 of this conversation. There may be a couple added on to it on
Mhm.
Tuesday because there's so many things that if I start talking, we'll be here to Tuesday that I want to share. So
But we
there's
got a lot to share. I think that this will make a difference. The key is that when in Ghana, when you are saying Ahadia Bakoa Kwanu So, it is peaceful here. What's your mission? We all come with a mission. Know your mission and fulfill it. And we can leave that mark on our lives and for the next generation and so forth. So I want to thank you all. Thank you, Jasmine Pfeiffer, Tony Rogers, and thank you, Mayor. Mayor,
Mayor Matt.
thank you so much. And thank you all for watching. I appreciate you all. I know, Stacy, you've been to Africa many a times. I can't wait to see you come with us to Senegal also to
we only got 20 people, so you gotta jump on it.
Jump on it now. Jump on it. We'll give you the pricings and make it happen. And see you all. Benita, I know all of you. I love you all. God bless all of you who are watching. And remember that you get your checkup from the neck up. If you plan, you will not plan to fail. If you have no plan, you will fail. So let's make it a positive and make sure we have a plan to enrich our lives. And thanks again. And I hope you learned something today on Access Wealth Nation with Dr. Jana B. Woodhouse.
She was told that she couldn't play with the boys. She was told that they were too big, too rough, too strong. She was told to give up her dreams and move on. She was told to just be pretty, be quiet, be a lady. She was told that women had to stay on their side of the court, stay in your lane. Playing and competing with men was insane. She was told that men and women would never be equal. Dreaming like that would only be lethal to your mind, to your soul. She never listened. She knew that their thinking was old. She is magic. She is the definition of spirit. She is what champions are made of. She is